It's Lionel Messi! He scored! The goal the world wanted!
It's time for the biggest sports stories.
It's Neymar trying to feed it through. It's a stretch and it's in. And I can't remember the last time I saw something like this. Extraordinary scenes.
The biggest interviews.
It's more difficult. Obviously, it's more difficult.
And all the analysis right here.
If they play poorly, they come back, they've got all the excuses. You can't have it both ways.
Every weekday, it's my sport, it's your sport. It's ZiFM Sport. Let's join the team for the biggest show in the world of sport on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station. ZiFM Sport is brought to you by One Money, the mobile money service from Net1. One Money. It's one time.
The greatest show on earth is well and truly running, and we can tell you that one of his biggest performers, Cristiano Ronaldo, is truly off and running as well. He continues to score out in Russia. Well, this is ZiFM Sport on a Wednesday, proudly brought to you by One Money. We can tell you it's one time with One Money. We'll be telling you a bit more about their products and services a bit later on, but before that, let's tell you what you can expect to look forward to on the show today. Mark Pozzo is in the studio, so is Barry Menandi. Sean Tafirenyika is behind the desk, and of course, my name is Mike Madoda.
Now on the home front, we got cricket news where Kyle Jarvis gave Zimbabwe cricket selectors a huge boost with a welcome return as he bowled with venom to help the Zimbabwe Select 11 to an easy 7-wicket win over the Board 11 as they won in the T20 tourney at Harare Sports Club yesterday. In rugby news, Zimbabwe fly-half Linians Tambwera believes the Sables' next Rugby Africa Cup assignment away to Kenya will be a huge test of their character to bounce back and keep the destiny of their 2019 World Cup hopes in their own hands. In football news, the winners of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League monthly awards have been revealed, with Norman Mapeza of SC Platinum named Coach of the Month for May, while Ngezi Platinum's Terence Zukamanja picked up the Best Players Award.
To our international sports news roundup, Owen Morgan basked in his proudest day as England's one-day captain and heralded the finest performance under his watch following an astonishing 242-run victory over Australia, in which their own world record total was smashed to pieces. In tennis, defending champion Roger Federer extended his unbeaten run on grass to 17 matches by beating Slovenia's Algiers Bedeni in the Hull Open first round. And in golf, Jason Day is hoping to put the disappointment of last week's US Open behind him as he prepares to take part in the Travelers' Championship.
Well, he just can't stop scoring. I'm talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. He proved the difference for Portugal as his early header condemned Morocco to a 1-0 defeat in Group B at the World Cup. Just one of the stories you can look forward to in the beautiful game, alongside Senegalese icon El Hadji Diouf, who has hailed his country's World Cup victory over Poland as a perfect start, but warned them that their toughest tests are still to come. And Neymar has returned to training 2 days before Brazil's World Cup group game against Costa Rica. News that should be a boost to fans of Brazil. This is a Wednesday, and of course it's proudly brought to you by One Money.
The Warriors, the Chevrons, the Cheetahs, the Mighty Warriors, and the Sables. From the pool to the track to the field, we are Team Zimbabwe. The Home Front. Local sports news and analysis.
Wednesday's edition of ZiFM Sport, proudly brought to you by One Money. A bit later on, we'll be telling you a bit about the 100% bonus promotion from One Money. Stay tuned to find out how you can be part of that great promotion, which has been running from the 1st of May and is due to end on the 31st of July. So you want to take advantage, you want to get in on the action. And just to give you an update of the match that's underway at the FIFA World Cup Russia 2018, Uruguay, led by Luis Suarez and the likes of Edinson Cavani, lead the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia 1-0 after 59 minutes of play. The man on the score sheet was none other than the Barcelona hitman, Luis Suarez. We'll give you an update of that match as it goes through the second half. But before we get there, let's go through news from the home front, starting with cricket. where Kyle Jarvis has given Zimbabwe cricket selectors a huge boost with a welcome return as he bowled with venom to help the Zimbabwe Select 11 to an easy 7-wicket win over the Board 11 as they won in the T20 tourney at Harare Sports Club yesterday. This, of course, is action that transpired just to give some of our local cricketers a bit of a run out and to make sure that the selectors could run their eye over them and then pick a squad for that tri-series which will feature Australia and Pakistan, and they've done exactly that. And here are the players that will represent Zimbabwe: Joao Chibaba, Hamilton Masakaza, Solomon Mire, Musakanda, Kamunu Kamwe, Alton Chigumbura, Marco Mwala, Chari, PJ Moore, Donald Chiripano, Wellington Masakaza, Chisoro Muzarabani, Murray, Kyle Jarvis, Mpofu, Mashaure, Nyumbu, Burl, Mavuta, and Magarira. And it looks like there are a number of players that will not be featuring in that squad. Names that we're used to hearing. Brendan Taylor is not there. Sikandar Raza is not there. Craig Irvine is not there. Graham Creamer and Sean Williams are also missing. Mark Pozzo, can we be competitive? Or we can already say that this tri-series is all... listen, it's going to be about Australia and Pakistan.
Yeah, Mike, I think if you want a one-word answer from me, it's going to be no. I think we have gone not one step backwards, but I think we have taken kilometers back. And it is really a shame to what we are seeing now, that where are our best players? Brendan Taylor, Sikandar Raza, Sean Williams, Graham Creamer. Where are these players?
Yeah,
where are they?
That's a good question that needs to be asked, Barry. And
nobody actually wants to come out and state where these players are.
No one is giving an explanation. And it then leaves, of course, the door open for people to hypothesize and for people to, at least offer explanations. And one of the explanations that's been offered is that these guys were not paid their dues and these guys are unwilling to represent Zimbabwe cricket or to play for the Chevrons until they get their dues. They've got outstanding salaries and bonuses.
Yeah, and it's easy for us to speculate in that manner because you look at all the lead up to the announcement of the squad and indeed the start of the local competition. We had that industrial action. We had various meetings taking place between the executive and the players, and the result of that was that we started our domestic competition, but albeit it was stop-start and the players were said to be, some were paid, some weren't paid, and so it might be that these ones that have been selected are the ones who are quiet enough or at least willing enough to play for the national team.
Okay, so there's rumour that according to Zimbabwe Cricket that they've undertaken to pay all outstanding salaries to players by the 25th of July, a month after the players' deadline, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are those players in question that we've just talked about that are not there? Why have Zimbabwe Cricket not engaged them? Because once again, Zimbabwe Cricket, are they going to live up to their Are they going to live up to their promise and pay them that money by that date? I think these players are just once again been led on another long garden path.
Yeah,
and they're clearly not happy. And added to Mark Paul's question, I'd ask a further question, Barry. If you're going to pay them on the 25th of July, where's the money coming from? Yeah. And an added question is, why haven't they been paid before? You guys receive a stipend from International Cricket Council. You've got money that's coming in. Why isn't that money being allocated to the players and their players' welfare?
Yeah, the answer that you'll get, and this is me speculating that Zimbabwe Cricket would answer in this fashion. They'll say it's going towards debt. But here's also my challenge with that answer about debt, because we understand that Zamco, the Zimbabwe Asset Management Company, which is under the RBZ, and assumed a lot of the debt held by the banks, also assumed the Zimbabwe Cricket debt. Now, if Zamco assumed that debt, why is that debt still on the Zimbabwe Cricket books? Those books need to be cleaned up so that Zimbabwe Cricket can operate in a way that is open and as honest as possible.
Okay, let's hear from the fans. 0731 168 045. Cricket fans, we want to hear from you on that number. That number is WhatsApp 0731 168 045. We're also on Twitter and Facebook, where you can follow and interact with @ZiFM Sport. This is ZiFM Sport on a Wednesday, proudly brought to you by One Money. Coming up, your local sports news roundup.
ZiFM Sport, proudly delivered by One Money. It's one time.
We continue with our local sports news roundup. We'll go to rugby, where Zimbabwe fly half Lenian Stamwera believes the Sabres' next Rugby Africa Cup assignment away to Kenya will be a huge test of their character to bounce back and keep their destiny of the 2019 World Cup hopes in their hands. The Sabres, who were held to a surprise 23-year-old draw by Morocco at Harare Sports Club on Saturday, there might be a 2-week break for Peter de Villiers' men to regroup and to reorganise, but the Sabres know fully well that in such a high-stakes game, it is a short period. Zimbabwe are looking to end 27 years of waiting to secure a place at the World Cup showcase set for Japan next year. To golf, and Zimbabwe Professional Golfers Association President Gary Thompson was re-elected to lead the association for the next 4 years after an annual meeting held at Chapman Golf Club yesterday. The 50-year-old former television personality was seeking another term of office and was given the green light to lead the association, which has been finding it hard to bring in sponsors on board. Thompson was first elected 2 years ago, taking over from the Day Munyombo-led executive, and has managed to bring some tournaments for the players. To football, and the winners of the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League monthly awards have been revealed, with Norman Mapeza of FC Platinum named Coach of the Month for May, while Ngezi Platinum stars Terence Zrukamanja picked up the Best Player award. Mapeza managed to guide his team to 5 wins and a draw in 6 matches. The Shishivani side conceded once and scored 8 goals. Zrukamanja beat other players following a brilliant performance, which saw him lead the scoring chart during the month.
One money from Net1. It's one time.
The 100% bonus promotion from One Money has been running. It kicked off on the 1st of May and will be running until the 31st of July 2018. Now, you've been holed up in some cave, have just landed on planet Earth from Mars. Let me tell you what it's all about. All you need to do is buy airtime and bundles using One Money and you get 100% bonus. Yes, you heard me correct. 100% bonus if you buy airtime worth $1, for example, or more, or a One Fusion bundle for $3 or more, you receive 100% instant bonus. So $1 airtime, Barry Mananda, will get you $2. $3 on One Fusion will get you $6. $10 will get you
$20.
$20. At one moment, I thought he was going to say $22.
I was going to say, come on, Prince Edward. Come on, Prince Edward. You better hold yourselves here.
So shut up, St. George's.
Like I say, the promotion has been running and will end on the 31st of July. Yes.
He's just wiping his brow after that test.
You know what?
Take advantage, guys, until the 31st of July. Now, terms and conditions apply. If you want to see these terms and conditions, please visit our website, onemoney.co.zw. Always fun and games when Barry and Mark Puzzle are in the studio. It can only be one show. ZiFM Sport.
From the front of the grid to the back of the net, it's ZiFM Sport. International Sports News Roundup, where the world comes out to play.
Let's go international, and we start with cricket news, where Owen Morgan basked in his proudest day as England's one-day captain and heralded the finest performance under his watch following an astonishing 242-run victory over Australia, in which their own world record total was smashed to pieces. The jaw-dropping 481 for 6 from 50 overs by England was powered by centuries from Alex Hales and Johnny Bairstow, and surpassed the 444 for 3 made on the same ground against Pakistan in 2016. Tim Payne's beleaguered tourists then crumbled to 239 all out for their heaviest one-day defeat by runs and England's biggest. Morgan says he never imagined his team would one day stare down the barrel of 500 in a one-day innings.
I think, having been in the position that we've found ourselves today with probably 6 overs to go, we'd have never managed or imagined, certainly after the game against Pakistan, that we'd come close, past, and maybe stare down the barrel of scoring 500. So it's a very proud day for us as a group, including the staff. What's most pleasing is the level of intensity that we operated at and continue to operate at throughout the whole game. Every batter that came in, every bowler that came on, even though it was a really flat wicket, showed an unbelievable attitude, which is all you can ask.
My goodness, what a performance by England. They did absolutely excellent. And we gave them pause yesterday. We were giving a running update of that total by England. And every single time that we gave an update, it was almost as if we were lying or creating things because, my goodness, what a total.
I mean, it was getting close to 500 at one stage. Somebody actually messaged me and said, sorry, are England playing a test match against Australia? I said, no, it's just a one-day international and it's raining runs.
Yeah.
But take a bow, Johnny Bester. I mean, look at the form he is in. My living. He is really playing good cricket and really enjoying his cricket, which is good for England because it just adds less pressure onto guys like Joe Root, Alex Hales at the top of the order when somebody like Johnny Bester can come in and start getting runs. And of course, you've even got Josh Butler who didn't get in the mix yesterday, and he'll be disappointed with that. But England certainly looking very good, despite even though it was a big score. They are looking good in the series.
Yeah, looking good in the series, and they're basking in the glory of their performances against Australia. Australia themselves, I mean, look, not to read too much into these defeats, but you've got to sort of start turning it around at some stage.
Yeah, they have to. I think I wouldn't be too concerned in terms of the World Cup. Because ultimately, I think nations like Australia, India, they kind of like build up to the World Cup because they'll be gunning for the biggest prize of all. But I would be concerned with the fact that there is almost a losing culture now.
That's building,
that's building in the Australian setup. I think this is their 14th defeat in the last 16 matches.
New coach now.
Justin Langer is in. Yeah. But the advantage is that, to be honest, they have about 6 world-class players and match winners that are going to come back. You know, Stark is going to come back. Josh Hazelwood is going to come back. You know, Pat Cummins is going to come back in this side. Steve Smith is going to be back in time for the World Cup. So is David Warner. They're going to be back in time for the World Cup. So they got great players who come in and make a huge difference and an impact in this side. But you're still expected to be competitive in these matches, especially against your arch rivals, England.
Exactly, and hardly the start that Langer would have wanted. And he's going to have to pick up these guys fairly quickly and make sure that they turn the ship around.
Indeed, right. Sri Lankan captain Dennis Chandimal has been suspended for one test after being found guilty for changing the condition of the ball. The International Cricket Council has announced the incident happened during day 2 of the second test against the West Indies in St. Lucia, a match which finished in a draw. So Chandimal been fined 100% of his match fee, given it two suspension points. He'll miss the third and final test against the Windies in Barbados starting on Saturday. What was he thinking? What did he have in his mouth? Did he have a sharp end on his filling or something that that he rubbed his saliva and got something out of the ball?
Apparently, I think it was the same thing again. He had a sweet as well. Similar thing to what Faf du Plessis did. But again, guys, I take you back to 3 months ago when that Australia incident happened in South Africa, and I said, you know what? Take a look at the attitude of the respective teams and the way they almost seem to tolerate an incident of this nature. We had Sri Lanka refuse to come out to play. When the incident was first of all made known.
Morning of day 3, I mean, it was 3 hours later.
They refused to come out and play because that automatically shows me that their board is trying to support the player.
Supporting the player, and also by that, the implicit condition that we can get from that is that the board actually condones the actions of the player.
Well, they're trying to cover up. And that's what I loved what the Australians did, where they said, okay, fine, doesn't matter whether you're the captain, whether you're a senior player, this is what we're going to do. After you've received this 100% match fee and whatever test match, we are going to punish you and ban you for a full season. That for me is the way to go. For me, I'd like to see if the Sri Lanka board is going to take further action, because that's what's needed. Chances are
zero.
Exactly. And the thing is that you then find the Sri Lankans, you find all the other teams, when it happens with Australia, like it did a couple of months ago,
blow it out of proportion.
They all jump on the bandwagon and start crying wolf.
ZiFM Sport, proudly delivered by One Money. It's one time.
Around the world in 60 seconds. International sports news.
All right, let's give you international sports news. Before we hit the break, we take off in France, where Red Bull have revealed their decision to switch from Renault to Honda power in 2019 was pretty clear-cut based on the data delivered at last week's Canadian Grand Prix, according to Red Bull boss Christian Horner, who had previously indicated Red Bull would delay their decision to evaluate data from both Montreal and this week's French Grand Prix. The results from Canada were so emphatic ecstatic that the team were able to make their decision immediately. In Germany, defending champion Roger Federer extended his unbeaten run on grass to 17 matches by beating Slovenia's Aljaz Bedin in the Hall Open first round. The 36-year-old Swiss, who reclaimed the world number 1 ranking by lifting the Stuttgart title last week, won 6-3, 6-4. He dropped only 8 points on his serve as he triumphed in 71 minutes. Across to America, Jason Day is hoping to put the disappointment of last week's US Open behind him as he prepares to take part in the Travelers Championship. The Australian had been in good nick on the PGA Tour so far this year, winning twice already, but was once again one of the many who suffered at Shinnecock Hills. Touching down in news from South Africa, well, we end on a wacky note. England backliner player Mike Brown has condemned an England fan who abused him and his teammate Joe Marler and cussed out on his commitment during the latest test defeat. Reports of a clash between England players and fans in Bloemfontein came to light at the Springboks' 23-12 win, which left them 2-0 up in the series with one game left in Cape Town on Saturday. I had a supporter leaning over and saying in certain ways that I wasn't trying hard enough. I just told him to shut up and walked off. That was it, said the veteran fullback.
Zimbabwe's finest breed. ZiFM Stereo. The big leagues, the big teams, the big players. The beautiful game on ZiFM Sport.
Jogo Bonito, Tiki Taka, Catanaccio, Total Football. It's a football celebration where only the best are invited. Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Salah, Mane. The stars come out to play on your Russia 2018 World Cup update on ZiFM Sport.
Oh, it's a show where only the biggest football stars are invited. And right now, one more than others is shining brightest in Russia. And his name is Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. Born in Madeira, the pride of Portugal. Before we get to his exploits, a quick update on the match that's currently on in Russia, and it features Uruguay of South America versus the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia from the Asian Confederation. We can tell you that Luis Suarez's goal separates the two sides after 86 minutes of play, but Saudi Arabia, Barry, have shown that they have come to play. Yes, they may not have the pedigree or the quality of the top sides, but from what we've just seen from the second half alone, they should at least have got an equalizer because they are trying, they are pushing forward.
They're not a bad side at all, and in truth, that first game that they played against Russia, I think it was, where they lost 5-0, is not a reflection upon this side. This side can certainly play a bit, and they've been very competitive in this match against Uruguay. It's not like Uruguay is playing in third gear or anything. Uruguay is actually trying, but failing to break down Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia themselves are attacking and getting into good areas.
Paz, would you say that it may have been a function of deer in headlights in that opening match? You know, overawed by the grand occasion, playing in the opening match versus the host country in front of 85,000 fans?
Yeah, I think you could say a little bit of that because certainly if you're looking at today's game, you can certainly say yes. I think it was a lot of nerves looking at them playing against a side like Uruguay today. As Barry said, I mean, I've watched most of the second half while we've been on air here, and they've played some very good football. The goalkeepers made some exceptional saves as well, and they just keep pressing Uruguay. So, I think it was just opening game nerves, and unfortunately, and jitters. It didn't go down well for them. But certainly they can be proud, despite if they go down here in this game losing, they can certainly be proud of their performance, that's for sure.
Certainly they will be proud of their performance, especially in this game. Just 3 minutes left as Cavani tries to get things going for Uruguay, who are hoping, of course, that they can hold out for 3 points in this group, which will take them to 6 and definitely into the knockout stages of the FIFA World Cup Russia 2018. Wow! Cristiano Ronaldo is the man who's grabbing all the headlines, and he proved the difference for Portugal as his early header condemned Morocco to a 1-0 defeat in Group B at the World Cup after his hat-trick against Spain. CR7 was yet again in headline-grabbing mood and headed Portugal into a 4th-minute lead. His 85th goal for his country means he's now scored more international goals than any other European player in history and puts Portugal in a strong position to qualify for the last 16 with 4 points from their first 2 games. Barry, you take a look at this game. game. I think a lot of people always suspected and always thought that Ronaldo would be able to inspire Portugal to victory in this game. Up against the Morocco side, yes, decent outfit, but coming from what would arguably be the weakest confederation at the FIFA World Cup based on results, to be honest, which is Africa. So that Portugal won is not a surprise. Will you be disappointed if you are sitting in the Portuguese dressing room with the fact that, listen, yes, we got all 3 points, but we didn't score as many goals as we could have? Because in light of the fact that Morocco are going to play Spain 1-0, and you're fighting for the right to finish top of the group. You gave yourself a fantastic opportunity versus Spain when you held them to a draw in the opening match. Do you think that there'll be a tinge, just a slight tinge of regret that they didn't score more than the one?
I think there might be. Look, they're going to be happy that they've all but secured their berth in the next round, which is probably for their first objective, and that is get out of the group, make it into the next round, and I think that was never in doubt. The question is, can they qualify top of the group? And for themselves, they'll kick themselves because they've only scored 1 goal against Morocco, and chances are that if Spain shows up, they're likely to put a few more than 1 up against Morocco, which will mean the goal difference will be in favor of Spain, and Spain will likely qualify as top of that group, meaning that they'll get weaker opposition in the next round.
And now, Mark, you and I, when we were having a bit of a chat earlier on here in the studio, you asked a very interesting question, and I think we should open this up to the listeners as well. You asked, how many goals do you think will be needed to secure the Golden Boot? And that's the question we want to ask. How many goals do you think will be needed to secure the Golden Boot? That is the top goal scorer in Russia at the tournament this year. Our number is 0731 168 045. Send us an SMS or a WhatsApp message, in fact, on that number 0731 168 045. Twitter and Facebook at ZiFM Sport. And I can tell you that Saudi Arabia are sweeping forward, but Uruguay are standing resolute. Now, pause. Cristiano Ronaldo is already on 4. What are your thoughts on that? How many goals do you think will be needed to bag that award?
Okay, so we were talking, and I think 8 goals. Somebody will get 8.
8, that's a lot, eh?
Someone will get 8.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That'll be 2 or 3 more than recent trends.
6 was the last one.
Yeah.
It'll mean for me that Portugal has a very deep run in this tournament. Chances are getting as far as probably semi-finals.
Yeah.
Then Cristiano will be on about 8.
There's still a long way to go, guys. There's still lots of guys you've got to throw into the mix here who could do something.
Okay, give us the guys you were tipping.
I know.
Who?
Come on, say it.
Harry.
I knew you were going to say Harry.
Harry Kane.
No, but England are not going to. England will just disappoint me again. So they're probably good for a quarterfinal. That's about it.
Yeah, but Harry Kane, though, he tends to score them in bunches.
He does, yeah.
So he's always well capable. Like we saw in that game, he was on the periphery of the game, but he still managed to grab himself 2 goals. He's capable of having a couple more matches like that where he scores 2 braces and already he's on 6. So there is a good
somebody from Brazil's got to come into the mix.
Yeah, they haven't started well, though.
Yeah, haven't started well. Coutinho's the only one who's got a goal for them.
Diego Costa.
There's some predictions that are coming through here, or some thoughts. And this one says, I think 8 goals. You don't give us your name. This one says more than 9. And then this one says, this time Parukuda 10 goals to secure the Golden Boot.
Yes.
This one, Learn More Mutisi Pa Muzokomba says 10 goals for this time. Solomon Mutizwa in Harare to Solomon Mutizwa says ZiFM Sport, it is going to take 7 goals. He says the top goal scorer will not be more than 7 goals. He reckons they'll top out at 7 goals. Ronaldo will strike 10.
With him. I think I agree with the guy who says 7 because I know a lot of people now will make their predictions on the assumption that their teams are going deep.
Yes.
But the truth is, not every team with a good goal scorer is going to go deep because like Ronaldo right now is in a good run of form, but like we said, for him to hit those goals, the numbers we're talking about, 8, 9, 10, he needs to go all the way in the tournament, all the way in the tournament, to go to all the way. So do they manage to do that? Because he could be in good goal scoring form. Team is knocked out in the quarterfinal or team is knocked out in the second round.
Yeah, but he could get another hat-trick, you never know.
Yeah, you could. Anyone could get a hat trick, Pops.
No, sure.
And I mean, if my brother was a girl, he'd be my sister, wouldn't he? But I think if he ends up in the quarterfinals, he ends up on about 6 goals.
Yeah.
That may be good enough if Nobody else fires. 8 goals are definite to attain the golden boot. That's Andreas Sibanda. Ronaldo will strike 10. That's Brian from Borja.
I think he's capable. If
He's
they go all
capable,
the way,
yeah.
if they go deep, he can get 8 goals. I believe he can get 8 if they go deep.
From the looks of things, I think 10 goals is possible with CR7 scoring the 10 goals.
Okay, let's give you an update again. That game is now in added time, and we can tell you there's just about 25 seconds left of play. One last attack here from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is all they have right now to rescue a point and to stay alive at the FIFA World Cup Russia 2018. They're swinging across from the right. It's a poor one. It's cleared, and Cavani fails to control the ball. They have 10 more seconds. Can they launch it deep? Can they do a smash and grab? Can they break the South Americans' arse? They can't, because the ref has blown to end the end of that game. Uruguay, 3 points, 6 points they now have. They top their group. That is, of course, Group B action.
Will the Pharaohs rule in Russia? Will the Carthage Eagles swoop to victory? Will the Lions of Teranga roar? Will the Super Eagles soar? Or will the Atlas Lions snap their way to victory? Africa, do you believe?
Africa, even if you don't believe now, keep believing, because anything can happen, and all of our hopes and dreams lie possibly on Senegal. They did us proud the other evening. Now, Senegal icon El Hadji Diouf hailed his country's World Cup victory over Poland as a perfect start, but warned them their toughest tests are still to come. Diouf, who made his name when his country shone at the 2002 tournament, was in the stands in Moscow as Aliou Cisse's men defeated Poland 2-1 in their first Group H World Cup game since that event 16 years ago. Thiago Chionek's own goal and a second half strike from Bayern Nyong proved enough for the African side, despite Grigor Krychowiak's late response for Poland. Let's hear from Nyong, who capitalized on a poor back pass from Grigor Krychowiak to score his first international goal after running on from the sideline, having received treatment.
On avait voulu imposer notre force. On a travaillé toute la semaine.
We wanted to impose our strength on this match. We worked all week to see how we could play against this Polish team, and today we all abided by the instructions that we were given, and that was the most important for us, and we're very proud.
Non, sincèrement, quand je suis sorti,
well, sincerely, when I left the pitch,
une action pour la Pologne, et ensuite quand je suis rentré,
it was an action for Poland. When I came back on the pitch, I saw a ball that was coming back towards the Polish defense, and I felt that there was a shot to be taken, and I tried for it, and it means that I was able to score the goal, and it was a decisive goal for our team.
I certainly didn't have any problems with the goal that was scored by me and Nyong. I think
I had
really
plenty. I think the ref messed it up.
Really?
Let's be fair.
Why? Okay.
I support Senegal. Here's the thing: the player's off the field.
Yeah.
I think as a ref, you've got a responsibility to, of course, then summon the player back on the field.
Yes.
But I think you can't summon him back to the field at the disadvantage of the other team. I think the ref
did he though?
Yes, he did.
How?
He did because he called him, and as he runs onto the field of play, almost simultaneously, that guy is making a pass backwards. That pass is made without Krychowiak taking into consideration that there's a player being called back onto the field who is in an advantageous position, Barry.
Now, when the referee waved Nyong back onto the field, but who was in possession of the ball? It was Senegal.
Yes.
It was Senegal in their own defensive.
But when does he come onto the field of play, Barry?
And then when he runs on, possession has been turned over to Poland.
But you're talking about split seconds, Barry.
Split seconds, exactly.
You're talking about split seconds.
Exactly. So the referee couldn't have known that there was going to be a turnover of possession.
But you call him in an attacking play, where, to be honest, he's now actually the man who's leading the line.
At that stage, the ball was in Senegal's defensive third. So there was no danger for Poland.
But look at the setup. No. Don't say there was no danger for Poland. They were playing a very high line. They were. That is actually the most dangerous situation in football.
They were.
What it takes is just one ball over the top, and that's exactly what happened.
From a tactical perspective, but not from a refereeing perspective. From a refereeing perspective, the ball is in an area where Neong was not even part of the play.
The ref shouldn't make tactical considerations.
No. The ref didn't need to consider Neong. Neong was not in play at that stage.
Because I think you wait for play to develop and then you call him back. If I was the ref, to be honest, to be fair, I would have actually cancelled that goal. Having realised that he's running through on goal, I would have said, you know what, no, not a chance. I'd have blown the whistle. That was unfair. That was unfair, guys. Sorry, that was unfair.
And I'm not even looking at it with
I support Senegal. I support Senegal full time.
Agreed. And I'm not even looking at it as a Senegal supporter. I'm looking at it from a footballing perspective. The ball was in an area
hard and fast rules, yes. Hard and fast rules, yes.
So did the ref do wrong?
In the spirit of fairness, no.
So again, we go back to Michael Oliver.
It's like the argument we had about the Michael Oliver thing, where we say, okay, did he blow according to the rules? Yes, there was contact, and it should have been a penalty. Yes. But was it fair? That's what Buffon asked. Was it fair? And you know what? It takes me to the refereeing style that we've seen at the World Cup. Yeah. And you begin to see the influence of what the Michael Oliver incident did to referee. Because now they're not blowing. For any marginal little contact inside the box, they won't give it to you.
Yeah, no, they won't. In fact, the refereeing at the World Cup has let go of a lot of challenges that are just, minor infractions. Yeah. And has tried to make sure that the game carries on.
Stay on your feet.
For me, I love it.
Stay on your feet.
I'm enjoying
on your feet.
Refereeing. The style of refereeing.
That's good.
Spot on.
Thank God there are no English refs.
Right. Egypt head coach Hector Cuba said Mohamed Salah was 100% fit for the World Cup, but his absence in training ahead of the tournament due to injury was difficult. Salah started in Egypt's second Group A clash with Russia last night, the first time he's played since injuring his shoulder in the Champions League final with Liverpool. Although he scored from the penalty spot, Egypt were beaten 3-1 to leave them on the brink of elimination. Let's hear from the Egyptian coach, who said his side paid the ultimate price for patches of bad football.
Yo creo que hemos tenido entre 10 y 12 minutos malos.
We had
comienza el segundo tiempo.
Between 10 or 12 bad issues there in the first half. Why do these things happen? Well, they do happen sometimes. I don't think it was lack of concentration. We did make mistakes. And definitely we were not good defending. I think we did a very good first half. That's the way I see it.
En un partido que ha durado 94 minutos hemos tenido
94 minutes the whole match, and we had between 10, 15 really very bad minutes, and that was the reason why we've lost.
Ha faltado esa cuota de suerte.
Yeah, and Egypt, of course, it's now been confirmed that they've been officially knocked out. At the end of that match, they were teetering on the brink, but with Uruguay winning, it means that Egypt now head home. There's one more game to be played tonight, and it's Iran versus Spain. And of course, David De Gea will be under the spotlight when Spain face the Asian nation in Group B tonight. He's been error-prone for Spain in the last few matches in the lead-up to the World Cup, and of course, in that game where he gifted Cristiano Ronaldo his second goal in that match. He'll definitely come under scrutiny, but this is the type of match I think that Spain would have wanted, Barry, just to get over perhaps
get the world track back on track.
Get the campaign back on track.
Exactly, get your eye in. I mean, you get a few donkey drops, you send them over the rope, you get your eye back in. So I think this is the sort of match that Spain needs, and hopefully they'll take full advantage, get themselves 3-4 goals in this match, and possibly with a clean sheet, and I think that'll stand them in good stead for the rest of the tournament.
Predictions? Spain, Iran?
Spain 3-0.
3-0? Barry?
Agreed.
I'm ready for 4-0.
With the previous
4-0, yeah, I think it'll be emphatic, and I fancy Diego Costa might grab himself another brace in this particular game.
For sure, I think that's certainly doable, and I think Spain is going to do the business. We have done the business, and we've got to go. Tomorrow is our shortened show. Don't miss it. It's at 6 o'clock, which is our usual time. May God richly bless you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Manandi. Out.
Be sure to catch ZiFM Sport every weekday on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station. ZiFM Sport was brought to you by One Money, the mobile money service from Net1. One Money. It's one time.